Youth soccer teams and companies can play on the Comets for each and every home game. Get your groups together and create your own popular nights on the Comets playing field here in the arena by calling 888-9-COMETS.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to MASL TV. Tonight here on the blue turf, the Kansas City Comets with a 3-5 record. Welcome in for the first time the Orlando SeaWolves, who check in with a record of 1-5. Great to be teamed with Eric Bergerud once again. Kansas City and Orlando meeting for the first time. Let's talk about Orlando first, Eric. They're a team that's had a lot of upheaval over the course of this regular season. They've had a lot of changes, but there is one familiar face that's coming back here to Kansas City for them.
A face familiar to Comets fans, O'Dane Sinclair. It's going to be interesting to see him. He is a very physical player, can play both sides of the field. He has a new coach, which was an old coach. He has a lot of new teammates, so it'll be interesting to see a chemistry for a team that's had a few-week layoff.
Yeah, we thought we might see a Comet killer by the name of Victor France, but apparently he's not going to make it.
And so we don't know a lot about the chemistry on this team. They've been off since December 2nd. They lost their first 5 games, came into a game with Baltimore and beat them, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Now, for Kansas City, they are just trying to get healthy, but they do have some players back, and they do have some missing. Bring us up to date.
John Sosa's back. He's critical. We've noted throughout the season he brings tangible and intangible benefits to the team. It's great to see him warming up with the team. We saw that Stokic got dinged up. Stefan Stokic last game, he is out. Lucas Rodriguez we saw get dinged up, and he is out as well. And it looks like Ray Sari, who missed the last game because of turf toe, I don't think he's in either. So the core is there. Coach Gibson is among the league leaders in scoring, so maybe he'll carry them on his back again.
Yeah, should be a good game tonight between Kansas City and Orlando. Comets looking for a victory, so is Orlando. The competition is heating up, and we'll have the kickoff coming up next on MASL TV. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to MASL TV tonight here on the blue turf, the Kansas City Comets with a 3-5 record. Welcome in for the first time the Orlando SeaWolves, who check in with a record of 1-5. Great to be teamed with
Trying to get you. Twice. I think they're aiming for you.
Yeah, I think so.
I had a scary thing in my your firewall is damaged and it's irrelevant. But it turns out it was my microphone. Someone hijacked the microphone. My logo. But it wouldn't surprise me. I know we after yours is mine. Right. So it reminds you that right. You gotta buy our product.
Tonight on MASL TV, one team trying to get back to their winning ways at home on the blue carpet, another team just getting back to playing. Kansas City and Orlando tonight, live from Silverstein Ice Center's arena on MASL TV. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to MASL TV. Tonight here on the blue turf, the Kansas City Comets with a 3-5 record. Welcome in for the first time the Orlando SeaWolves, who check in with a record of 1-5. Great to be teamed with Eric Bergerud once again. Kansas City and Orlando meeting for the first time. Let's talk about Orlando first, Eric. They're a team that's had a lot of upheaval over the course of this regular season. They've had a lot of changes, but there is one familiar face that's coming back here to Kansas City for them.
A face familiar to Comets fans. O'Dane Sinclair is going to be interesting to see him. He is a very physical player, can play both sides of the field. He has a new coach, which was an old coach. He has a lot of new teammates, so it'll be interesting to see a chemistry for a team that's had a few-week layoff. Yeah,
we thought we might see a Comet killer by the name of Victor France, but apparently he's not going to make it.
And so we don't know a lot about the chemistry on this team. They've been off since December 2nd. They lost their first 5 games, came into a game with Baltimore and beat them. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Now, for Kansas City, they are just trying to get healthy, but they do have some players back, and they do have some missing. Bring us up to date.
John Sosa's back. He's critical. We've noted throughout the season he brings tangible and intangible benefits to the team. It's great to see him warming up with the team. We saw that Stokic got dinged up. Stefan Stokic last game, he is out. Lucas Rodriguez we saw get dinged up, and he is out as well. And it looks like Ray Sari, who missed the last game because of turf toe, I don't think he's in either. So the core is there. Coach Gibson is among the league leaders in scoring, so maybe he'll carry them on his back again.
Yeah, should be a good game tonight between Kansas City and Orlando. Comets looking for a victory, so is Orlando. The competition is heating up, and we'll have the kickoff coming up next on MASL TV.
Yourself to the finer things in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Sousa from From Kansas City, Missouri, number 21, defender, Robert Kelly. From Santiago, Chile, number 23, defender, Nacho Flores. From Santiago, Chile, number 24, defender, Mirko Sandovari. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 27, midfielder, Gui Gomez. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 28, goalkeeper, Lou Meisner. And now for tonight's starters. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 3, defender, Ray Lee. From Trinidad and Tobago, number 11, forward, Kyle Williams. From Aguas Calientes, Mexico, number 30, midfielder, Hector Solorio. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 18, forward, Kevin Ellis. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 51, defender, Robert Palmer. And from Olathe, Kansas, starting in goal, number 99, Mark Saxby. Head coach for the Comets from Monrovia, Liberia, number 14, Comets forward, Leo Gibson. Comets goalkeeper coach is former Comets legend Alan Mayer. Assistant goalkeeper coach is Kenny Mayer. Comets head athletic trainer is Sean Doomers. And Comets equipment manager is Butch Schumann. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's hear it for your 2020 Kansas City Comets. Please remain standing, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the American flag above section 116 and 117. We ask you now please join us in paying respect to our colors as Lindsey Byam performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, a hand for Lindsey Byam.
Great to have you here on MASL TV alongside Eric Bergerud. I am Nick Vassos. Tonight it's the Comets and the Orlando SeaWolves meeting for the first time this season. And Eric, before we talk about the game, we've got to talk about some of the conditions that are outside right now. It was 64 degrees yesterday here in Kansas City. Right now the temperature is about 39 degrees, and it is falling, and it is raining like crazy, and it's going to transition into ice pellets, and then eventually into freezing rain, and then eventually into a whole bunch of snow. And unfortunately, some of that forecast has scared away some of the Comets fans.
So we were driving on I-70 towards the Silverstein Ice Center's arena. There's this caravan of these big vehicles in the right lane. I'm like, why are these going so slow? These are brine trucks from the Missouri Department of Transportation. So everybody seems to be hunkering down in Kansas City. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad I made it. And I'm looking forward to a great game.
Yeah, for sure. So Kansas City coming off a loss to the Milwaukee Wave here at home. Final score there was 8-3. The contest was much closer than the score would indicate, but an opportunity here for Kansas City to get back to their winning ways against Orlando.
Absolutely. We've been talking over the last few days, games about injuries, about visa problems. The visa problems hopefully will take care of themselves. The injuries, they're working their way through those. But this is a way to get back on track. Orlando's a team in transition. They've changed coaches. They've changed a lot of their players. But in this league, what we found, Nick, is you cannot overlook any single team, because on any given night, the unexpected can happen. But I'm confident that Coach Gibson came out of that Milwaukee game with a game plan to be successful tonight.
Tom Traxler is their new, again, head coach. This is his second go-around for the Orlando. Tom Traxler is the color analyst, I believe, down for Orlando City, right?
Yeah, and so he's well known. What's funny is I found out about it, not just on the league's website, but one of our former Park University players on Orlando had posted it on his Facebook page. I'm like, well, he must be happy that Traxler's back, because he posted the announcement too. So
the tentacles of Park University just go out wide and far, don't they?
It's crazy. So I was talking to Rodolfo Lopez. He's playing right now he's on the right wing there. He plays between forward and midfielder. I was talking to him before the game, and so it's interesting to see college teammates. You don't see that a lot in the MASL, college teammates playing against each other.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's something else. Kansas City in their home blues with red socks. Orlando comes in with white jerseys, white shorts, and white socks. We are just about set to get underway. Kansas City with a 3-5 record. Their differential -1. Orlando 1-5. They have a -23 differential. And again, Orlando with basically a whole new team. They have 6 rookies on this team. Gone from Orlando is Richard Schmerman, Mario Alvarez, Derek Huffman, Schmerman to Baltimore, Alvarez and Huffman to Milwaukee, and then inactive players, Peter Sliwa, Yoshio Sandoval, Osvaldo Rojas, Edwin Rojas, Thiago Freitas, and Omar Tapia. All of those players are gone. They did sign Victor France a couple of days ago. He is not with the team. They expect him to be in uniform on Sunday when Orlando travels to Florida to take on the Tropics. So they are getting some help, but this is basically a whole new side for Orlando.
There's a familiar face we mentioned in the pregame, O'Dane Sinclair.
Right.
Interesting to see him here back at Silverstein Ice Center's arena wearing the other team's colors, but dominating presence. He's playing right back on that first shift. It's going to be interesting to see if he tries to tee off a couple shots at Mark Saxby, who it's great to have him back in goal for the Comets.
Yeah, Saxby's been out with a foot injury the last couple of games, and Lou Meisner filled in admirably for the Comets. So Saxby is back in there starting, and for Saxby, he is making his 3rd start of the year. He is 1-1. His goals against average 4.1, and there he is wearing the orange jersey, orange socks, and that very long, thick, and luxurious beard.
And those 2 matches he played, that was the Texas two-step, as you've mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked strong coming off an injury in both matches. They won in Mesquite, and he held them into the game against Dallas before they fell late.
Now, starting for Orlando with the ball right now is Fernando Cortez. He's from West Palm Beach, Florida. He is making his 2nd start of the year. He's 1-0. In his lone game, he made 4 saves on 10 shots. And his goals against average is 5.7. Here's a chance by Kansas City. Leo with all kinds of time looking to the far post. And this pass is a little off the mark. Boy, Kansas City with some great opportunity here deep in Orlando territory. 3 white jerseys converge, and Orlando comes out with it. And then Guy Gomez trips up Orlando player. I think that's Luis Mota who gets tripped up on the carpet.
And what we saw on the Comets attacking third was deja vu, because it was Milwaukee did it successfully against the Kansas City defense, the pressure, the double teams in the corners. And so Leo Gibson is going to put pressure on that Orlando back line just to see if they can grab a goal or two off a defensive error.
All the way back to Cortez. There's O'Dane Sinclair back on for his second shift of the game. We're just underway here in the first on MASL TV. Great to have you here. Nick Vassos, Eric Bergrud. Our director is Brad Zimmerman. Our whole crew ready here to bring you live action from Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Cortez plays it up towards Tobias. Here's a chance here in the left wing corner. Getting a foot on it there was Daniel Jackson. He is one of the many rookies on this team. Comets able to clear it away, and Ray Lee for the Comets is there.
Comets take a line change. We'll set things up. Kyle Williams has been impressive so far this year.
Absolutely. Leo comes near side for Berto. Robert Palmer, he goes 5-hole looking for a teammate, Kevin Ellis. Comes back to Berto. Berto walks it in, and then his forward pace is stopped, and back comes Orlando. Trying to get it out wide to Jackson. Jackson, try to slip a pass to Kaufman. Now front and center, it comes to Cruz. Cruz trying to dodge all the blue jerseys, but he's got too many Comet players in front of him. Kansas City near their yellow line. There's Kevin Ellis. See what kind of game Kevin has today. His first game against Milwaukee was probably one that he didn't want to have.
He spent some quality time at the Mark Ferguson Attorney at Law penalty box, so I would assume he'd rather be on the score sheet for positive measures, Nick.
Mirko Sandovari is into the game for the first time. Here's Saxby. Kansas City, after this game, is going to play Milwaukee 3 times in their next 5 games. So Kansas City 2 games below 500. They've got a couple of teams ahead of them that they'd like to make some ground on here, and tonight's game is an opportunity for that. Here's Nacho Flores, down to Leo, back to Nacho. Nacho with a chance, keeps going in, and he gets knocked down, but both teams play on. A good tackle there by Orlando, and they clear it out to the half line.
Nice overlapping run here for Orlando.
Jackson with a drive, and that one up and over the goal.
It looks like Orlando's going to try to find their opportunities. They did a counterattack there. Jackson made the run. Just took his head up a little bit, and the ball traveled and followed his head over the glass.
I got to think that Orlando's still sort of, with so many new players, they're figuring out how to play with one another right now.
Well, and plus you add that, Nick, to the layoff. They've been off since December 22nd, so most of the other teams in the league have been playing constantly, in some cases too constantly, back-to-back doubleheader weekends.
Good point. Yeah, before Christmas was their last game. And again, Orlando beat Baltimore. They were home when they beat Baltimore, but they beat Baltimore. I mean, that's a great win for this franchise. They opened the gate with 5 straight losses, and then they defeat the Blast, and they're trying to keep that going tonight here on the road against Kansas City. No score here. 10 minutes to play in the first. Off the boards, looking for Gibson. The ball was loose out front. Can the Comets punch it in? Now it's out wide. Robert Kelly is there, and the Comets will reset their offense. Right side it goes to Gibson. Gibson looking for someone to play it into. Orlando has it for a moment, but losing the handle and turning it back over to Kansas City.
And it looks like Kevin Ellis is pushing up this game. And then he drops back right after I say that. But it'd be interesting to see where he lines up, whether he lines up as a midfielder, whether he comes in as a forward to spell Gibson. Stokic was set up as defensive runner for Leo last game.
Yep.
Stokic isn't playing tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see what changes Coach Gibson has in store for us.
Yeah, if you missed the pregame, Ray Sari is out tonight, along with Stefan Stokic, as Eric just mentioned, and Lucas Rodriguez. So 3 players not available for Coach Gibson tonight, but they should be returning soon. And we also spoke with a couple of players the Comets are expecting but are having some visa problems. Can you bring us up to date there?
Yeah, we talked with, you mentioned Park University. We talked to Lucas Sosa on the bench, and his paperwork has been filed, updated with the league, as well as the goalkeeper of the future, as everybody is mentioning, him, Mr. Neto, wearing number 1 for the Comets. They're both from Brazil. They both played NAIA soccer, and they're both waiting. And so we had heard February 1st. He said maybe earlier, but not just the bodies, but fresh bodies who haven't been dinged up a little bit and bring some enthusiasm into the lineup for the serious charge towards the playoffs, as Coach Gibson will need everybody available.
SeaWolves operating it on their side of the field. Kansas City matching up defensively. With the ball is Eduardo Cruz. On back to Cortez. Now comes near side to Cruz. He's across the half line. Dribbles it forward. Goes off of Sandovari of the Comets. Deflecting around. Kevin Ellis pokes it forward to Mirko.
You see how many guys they bring back there, Nick?
Yeah, here comes Mirko trying to slide it to Matt Lewis. Lewis fired a shot with the left foot, but rolled over the top of it. Now, lots of space here for Ellis.
Shot from Ellis, just wide.
That one just wide to the right. Here's Gibson picking up the clearance. Boy, Ellis was open in the box. Leo didn't see him. The Comets are getting a lot of space to operate pretty deep in Orlando territory, and that's a recipe for a Comet goal there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, here comes Orlando on the other side. Kaufman now front and center. Here's a long drive, and look out, folks. That was a screamer over the glass, and we've got a timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. Let's go back and talk about Lucas Souza. And, oh, you know what? We will take a break. Let's take a break. 7:06. We have no score between Kansas City and Orlando. Live on MASL TV.
in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
MASL TV live from Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. Nick Vassos, Eric Bergrud. First quarter action. No score between Kansas City and Orlando. The Comets with the ball. Robert Palmer on back to Mark Saxby. Comets 3-5. Looking to get back into the winning column after losing at home to Milwaukee, the defending champions, last week. Here's Palmer. Palmer, one of the many Park University products here, plays it over to Saxby. Saxby, a Benedictine product from Etchison, Kansas. Here comes Kyle Williams now. Over the center circle. He's got all kinds of space. Kyle Williams shoots. Ding-dong off the post. Kyle is beside himself.
And Odin Sinclair just stood there like, I dare you to shoot it at me. I guess that worked.
Oh, my goodness. So a corner coming up to KC. Leo Gibson behind the ball. Gibson through the box. On over to Palmer. Palmer trying to play it down to Ray Lee. Palmer back to Gibson, then down to the corner to Ellis. Ellis turns, faces, double team off the glass, into the area, and then cleared away by Orlando.
So it looks like Traxler's setting, it makes sense. 5 guys behind the ball, extremely organized. Don't give up any bad goals. Try to counterattack.
Kyle Williams again left alone. Moves to his left, shoots, and he scores! Kyle Williams didn't miss that time, and the Comets are on the board 1-0.
We'll take a look at the replay here. We had talked about Kyle Williams earlier. He's had a great season. Plenty of time. A little move to his right foot past the defender. Bottom corner, nothing that goalkeeper Fernando Cortez could do.
Kyle Williams with his 5th on the year. See who they give the assist to on that one, if anyone.
Assist number 51, Robert.
They're going to give it to Roberto. Roberto, he picks up his 4th assist on the year, and Kansas City off to a 1-0 lead. I have noticed earlier, we talked at the top of the show, Eric, that John Sosa is back. However, I have not seen him.
I got the sense after the last game, not that they were necessarily overlooking Orlando, but they were hoping that they wouldn't have to put minutes on some of their players. And so it wouldn't shock me if Coach Gibson's watching the scoreboard and will make a decision in terms of what does he need to do.
We also talked to the athletic trainer Sean Demers before the game, and he talked about the number of games that the Comets have played in a short amount of time, and that put a lot of stress on the players. Hamstring injuries in particular, and so there are players that are playing with little tweaked up hamstrings, but what he had mentioned to us, Nick, was 5 games in 14 days, and the back-to-back games can have an effect on your hamstring. And so that's why it's important that these guys with the visa problems get in the lineup, because then Coach Gibson can get creative, bringing guys in and out, and doesn't have to play the same exact lineup, particularly when you start looking at these road stretches where you're going back-to-back games. Here comes Orlando attacking in the Comets' final third. Plays it on back to Mashad. Here's Orlando moving in. A toe poke. That one off the foot of Narando. Now Mota and Ellis battle. Ellis wins the ball. Out to Sandavari. Ellis and Naranjo both go down, and both players go off the field, and Kansas City slows it up to get fresh legs out there. Changes for both teams.
You were mentioning the weather, Nick, and the impact it had on the crowd. I wonder how many people were sitting with their tickets and didn't quite make it out, but it's a lot more quiet here in the first quarter than it was last week. We had 5,100 here for that Milwaukee game. You sort of feel it a little subdued.
Amazing crowd.
What a goal. Rodolfo Lopez from Park University. I told him I'd give him a shout out. And he went top shelf, knocked off a cookie jar or two.
Rodolfo Lopez, all alone. And he went over Mark Saxby, and the game is tied at 1. How about that?
We were talking to Lucas Sosa before the game, and he said, I talked to Rodolfo. I told him, I want you to get a goal, but I want us to beat you by a lot. So, okay, Rodolfo got his goal for the SeaWolves. Now it's time for the Comets to start cranking them out.
That's Rodolfo's first goal on the year, to go along with 2 assists and 2 blocks for the rookie, originally from Santos, Brazil.
He was on the same team as Comets defender Mirko Sandavari, so a lot of these guys not only know each other but played together.
Here are the Comets again. Saxby plays it long, lifts it into the center circle above that iconic Comets logo. Tobias there battling with Nacho, and Nacho wins the ball. Tobias thought he was fouled. On over to Lewis. Lewis dancing with it on the half line, back to Sandavari. Game tied at 1. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in this opening frame. Robert Kelly into the game as well. Now Sandavari. Comets working their offense.
The Comets need to avoid getting frustrated. Orlando's playing smart. They're playing organized, and there's no guarantees that a lot of goals are going to come immediately.
Comets pinging the ball out in front of the Orlando goal, and Cortez finally pounces on it for the SeaWolves. That's about the third or fourth exchange we've seen out there in front of Orlando's goal where the ball is just free and the Comets have not been able to pounce on the rebound. Back to Saxby. Saxby plays it into open space and is picked up there by Mota. Comes down to the corner. Correction, that's Cruz. Now right side, off the boards, pinging around the Comets goal. Kansas City clears it away. Solario into the game, on up to Palmer. Palmer is taken down to the ground, and a foul is called by Eduardo Cruz, or on Eduardo Cruz. Ron Corey, in his 30th year of refereeing professional indoor soccer, is our referee tonight. The assistant referee is Brian Martin. Those two have been paired together in hundreds of games over the years.
And I know Ron Corey has heard it all. He has seen it all.
Yes. And his first rodeo, that's for sure. 30 years reffing indoor games. Palmer's pass looking for Ellis, and Ellis didn't go for it, so it turns over to Orlando. On the ball right now is Lopez. He's battling with Ray Lee. Ray Lee takes the ball away from him, plays it back to Saxby. Saxby up to Gibson. Gibson knocked down, shot by Sinclair! Another one, upper tank, and the SeaWolves have the lead. It's 2-1.
We mentioned that former Comet in the pregame. I wondered whether he was going to take some shots, and he muscles, we'll see on the replay, he muscles Gibson.
Look at this challenge here with Gibson. Gibson thought he was going to get the foul.
Let it take a bounce, half volley. Another top shelf goal for you there, Nick. And as I was saying earlier, you cannot overlook any team in this league. And I think that's a good non-call. Ron Corey saw it all the way.
Wow.
He didn't even go to a whistle. 2-1 SeaWolves.
Orlando 1-5. Kansas City 3-5. 2-1 Orlando right now.
We'll see what Saxby does with this. As I was saying earlier, because there isn't the enthusiasm yet, the Comets are going to have to build that enthusiasm.
Leo trying to do something on his own there, blocked by Orlando. The rebound comes out to Robert Kelly. Now here's Sandavari. Comets will set up their offense, play it to Saxby. One thing I've noticed early on is that the Comets have not been able to get their offense going from Saxby. They haven't been able to get the flow going from the last third across to Orlando and be able to create chances that way. They're just a little bit off in that regard.
Well, it looks like for the SeaWolves, Coach Traxler is playing defense first. So watch how the SeaWolves defenders are tracking. They're following runners. See Nacho trying to make a run. And so they're extremely organized here. And so Comets just have to be careful not to be counterattacked just like this.
Just like this. And there's a drive and a tremendous save by Saxby. That was nearly 3-1 on a drive by Jeff Bichad.
Woo! And pressure there by the SeaWolves defense. Didn't let the Comets get the ball out of the goal, and Saxby came up big.
Mark Saxby, the Olathe, Kansas native, 1-1. His goals against average just above 4. Corner kick coming up to Orlando. Left wing corner. Cruz behind the ball. Cruz out to a teammate. Drive save by Saxby. That one came off the foot of Naranjo. Cruz and Naranjo give chase all the way back to Cortez. Cortez to Naranjo. Now Cortez. Final seconds ticking off here in the first. A surprising 2-1 lead by Orlando. 0.8 seconds left after a foul is called on the SeaWolves.
Something we talked about in previous broadcasts, Nick, is there are a lot of good players in this country and in Mexico. And so you talked about Orlando having a bunch of rookies. There are people dying to play professional arena soccer and have that opportunity. And this league, the there aren't as many differences between top to bottom as there might have been a couple years ago.
Yep. Well, Tom Traxler right there has got his team playing well. We'll be right back.
in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Orlando 2, Kansas City 1 here at Silverstein Eye Center's Arena on MASL TV. Alongside Eric Bergerud, Nick Vassos, Brad Zimmerman, our director, Rachel Tooney is our replay operator, Wags, Paul Stokes, and Taylor Kopic are our camera operators tonight. Thank you all very much for your help, and thank you for watching MASL TV. The podcast is out. The official MASL podcast is back for the 1920 season. We talk to players, officials, coaches from across the league. We take you behind the scenes of the MASL. So check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and to subscribe to the official MASL podcast on Apple Podcasts. And I was fortunate enough to join Jeff Houston for the latest MASL podcast. We had a lot of fun, talked about a lot of games across the league, some of the controversies that were going on in San Diego with the, was it a goal, was it not a goal? But it was a lot of fun chatting it up with Jeff Houston. So check out the MASL podcast on MASLsoccer.com. Underway here in the second. Kansas City with the ball. Gibson still going forward. Cortez does not have a handle on it. Nacho with it. Can he get it into the middle? O'Dane Sinclair is down there with his big body. Now here's a drive by Ray Lee. Ho-ho! What a lefty laser that was. The Comets have tied it.
And we'll check out the replay. Great ball movement for the Comets. Nacho found Ray Lee, who didn't even blink. Took it first time, cracked it with his left foot, top shelf, breaking cookie jars left and right here. And we saw Ray Lee with his hat trick against Tacoma a few games ago. The guy has a powerful shot, and so looking for opportunities from the back line to score really creates movement opportunities for the front line.
What a goal by Ray Lee. That is number 6 on the year, and Nacho comes up with the assist for Kansas City, and we are tied at 2. For Nacho, that is his 3rd assist on the year. Rashad with the ball for Orlando. On back to their keeper, Cortez. 14 to play in the first half. Rashad lost it. Can the Comets get it? That was a close call there. 2 Comet players were near the ball. Go ahead, Eric.
When defenders like Ray Lee score from the outside, the Orlando forwards have to respect that. So what we saw against Milwaukee is the double teams in the corners where a forward would peel back and create challenges for the Comets. If you have guys like Ray Lee that can shoot, it keeps those Orlando forwards honest where they have to defend up at the yellow line.
Sinclair feeling it. Cuts it back to the right. He shoots again, and that one above the crossbar. Sinclair just banging his body. He hits the deck. Both teams play on. Here's Berto. Berto with some space. Berto goes across the field. Shot by Ellis. Over the glass. Good feed there. Good pass by Robert Palmer. And there's Kevin Ellis, the former Sporting Kansas City and local player from Kansas City, just recently signed by the Comets.
It was just a little bit not in front of him, and he tried to pull it with his left foot, and it went way above the top shelf.
Lando kicks it long back towards the Comets side of the field. Ray Lee is there to dig it out of the boards along with Kyle Williams. Also coming up with it is Guy Ribeiro. It winds around the boards, and Saxby pounces on it for the Comets. Saxby's up and throwing long for Kelly. Off the boards, Robert Kelly. His touch sort of let him down, and Orlando will take over. The shot's pass is off the mark to Ribeiro, and the Comets will take it back.
And we see Leo dropping back like we noticed in the last game. A little bit of player movement.
Here's Lewis. Yeah, you and I chatted about, and when there was a holiday party with the Comets, you also talked about it with some of the players and some of the coaching staff about just how different it is to be a player coach than to be just a player.
Yeah, we've talked about the transition this year, the player coach, and I was talking to Comets legend and goalkeeper coach Alan Mayer, who had that experience way back in the 1984-85 season when he was goalkeeper and coach of Las Vegas Americans of the Major Indoor Soccer League. And what he said is it's challenging because as a player you have to prepare yourself mentally for the game, but then you have all these other headaches as a coach and you have to wear both hats, and so it can be emotionally draining. But we're seeing in the league he's not the only one doing this. We saw Nick Pereira recently with Tacoma.
Yep.
So I mean, you definitely can do it. It helps to have a strong bench, so when you're on the field, you have eyes on that bench that are watching the game. When you're, just like Coach Gibson is, more focused on the ball.
Here's Leo. He was double teamed, but he's able to get it to Sandovari off the wall, and Cortez in perfect position for the SeaWolves. Comets will go with some pressure here. Leo and Ellis were showing up. It's kicked long down to Tobias. Tobias on the Comet yellow line, front and center. It comes to Naranjo. Now picked up by Cruz. Now Naranjo pops it up into the air, into the corner, fires a shot. Saxby's got it for the Comets. Mark Saxby, 1-1 on the year. Forward to Leo Gibson. Now Kyle Williams just coming on. Kyle Williams into the middle to Ray Lee. Now Ellis, a drive, save. Cortez back to Ellis. Another shot, try to poke it in there with the toe, and that one blocked by the SeaWolves. Well, that was a good opportunity for Ellis to get his first goal of the season, but Kyle Williams and the Comets still have it. Now Ellis, maybe another chance. Williams to Ellis, shoots. That one deflected wide. Now headed back in there. Cortez still can't get a handle on it. Boy, the Comets with all kinds of activity in front of the SeaWolves goal. Ray Lee. Williams. Gibson and Rafael Tobias collide, and Leo may have taken that one. Don't know if the ball struck. Looks like Leo's going to be okay.
We'll take a look at the replay here.
He's about as tough as a $2 steak. Let's look at that again.
The ball bounced off his shin.
Shins, yep.
Yeah. And it looks like Tobias followed through. Nothing dirty about that play.
Long ball into the Comets area. Saxby's got it. He rolls it out to Kelly. 9.5 to play in the first half. We are tied at 2. We've had a good one here between Orlando and KC at Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Nacho Flores, his pass too weak and is picked off there by Nascimento. Jackson's got it now for Orlando. Forward to Kaufman. Kaufman draws a crowd of blue jerseys. Jackson over to Kaufman. Kaufman winds it around the boards. It deflects across the Comets' goal mouth to the near side. Palmer's over there for KC. Palmer gets it to Leo, who's back into the game, and then Leo up to Kelly. Here's Kelly looking far post to Robert Palmer. Now Palmer over to Nacho, who shoots, and that one just wide. Good ball there by Berto to Nacho.
And Berto just let the ball bounce off the boards, gave him space to make a decision, laid it off, unfortunately for the Comets.
Looks like Robert Kelly may have taken an elbow to the face. And no call by the officials. Brian Martin, yeah, that's what he said there, an elbow right to the face. But Kelly will stay on the field.
Comets foul number 21, Robert Kelly, his first in the half.
Cruz. Back to Cortez.
Hector Solorio out for the Comets. I think that's his first shift.
Sandovari with some pressure on Naranjo. Now forward to Cruz. Cruz has got some space. Cruz tried to play it into his teammate, Ribeiro, but it deflects into Saxby, and the Comets will come out with it. Here's Matt Lewis of the Comets. He scored the Comets' first goal in the home stretch. Long drive by Ray Lee. Not a lot of pace on that one. Cortez with a relatively easy save.
So see how they've flipped Lee and Gibson. Lee's pressing as sort of a forward defender, and Gibson's playing from the back up.
Interesting. Leo over to Williams. Now far post, and boy, Williams almost snuck that one in. And we've got a timeout. Let's take a timeout. 7:43 left to play in the first half. We are tied at 2. Kansas City 2, Orlando 2. Glad you're with us.
Yourself to the finer things in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
You're watching the Kansas City Comets and Orlando SeaWolves on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. One other game around the league tonight, and that is on the West Coast, where Turlock will be traveling to Tacoma to take on the Stars. That game kicks off at 9:35 Central Time, and of course that will be on MASL TV. We'll run down the other games this weekend as we get a little bit deeper into this match here. We are tied at 2. Kansas City and Orlando.
How glad do you think Nick Pereira and the Stars are to be back home at their monster road trip?
I know. They're going to have 5 straight at home, and I know they're feeling good about that because that 6-game road trip was tough on the Stars. Kansas City trying to win the ball. Naranjo is over there, and a foul called on Kansas City's Kevin Ellis.
Well, it's funny. I was checking stats earlier today, prepping for the match, and Nick Pereira is leading the league in points. So
how about
he can
that?
run on the road.
I guess he's in MVP form, right?
That's right.
Delay of game warning for the Comets issued there by Mr. Ron Corey. Cortez, a line drive pass, headed over to the near side, and it's picked up there by Mota. On back to Michaud. Pass is a little bit too hot, and it deflects over to Kansas City. So the Comets will set up their offense. Sandovari played it forward to Solario, but a little bit too strong, and it comes back to Orlando. Here's Michaud. He's one of the many rookies on this team. 6 rookies by my count. Cortez, this is his 2nd year. Last year he played for the Dallas Sidekicks. He played in 5 games for the Sidekicks at a 2-3 record and a goals against average of 7.1. Somebody shaken up on the field of Orlando, and I think that is...
It's Naranjo.
Yeah, it's Naranjo.
Hector Solorio had a good position on him, and they tangled. Foul on Naranjo. No harm really intended there.
And it looks like they gave the foul to Solario there.
Against Naranjo, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here, Nick. That is why I'm here.
I was wrong. Eric was right.
It's rare.
That is why you are here, my friend. Absolutely. Under 6 to play in the first half. We're tied at 2. Here's Leo. Marked by Sinclair. Cortez way off his line. Ball is loose. Boy, Sinclair is right in the middle of everything. Boy, O'Dane is playing great tonight.
Maybe another reason Leo Gibson is playing back. Why would you want to go mano-a-mano with O'Dane Sinclair?
No thanks. Foul called on O'Dane, so Kansas City will have it just inside the SeaWolves yellow line. About 45 feet away from the goal. Gibson behind the ball. Again, no John Sosa tonight, so Gibson is going to trigger the restarts. We thought John was going to be able to play tonight. He did warm up, but I think they decided to just hold him out one more game. Boy, Ellis, another left-footed shot goes high into the air. Again, this is Kevin Ellis' 2nd game back, and he probably has had maybe a full week of training here. So Kevin he's getting back into the flow of things, you know?
Pressing a little bit, and
yeah.
As you said, with Sosa not behind the ball, it's sort of an unusual situation there. Thought it was interesting to put Ray Lee in the corner because Ray Lee with his left foot might have been an interesting option there for the Comets.
Yeah. Once Kevin gets settled, I think you're going to see the real Kevin Ellis here, as we saw last year. Here's Jackson going against Sandovari. Sandovari pressed up against the board by Jackson. Jackson gets it back, fires a shot from Kaufman. Kaufman hit it first time, but a save was made by Saxby. And now Saxby comes up a little bit lame, holding his right groin. Well, maybe not. Maybe he got hit in a sensitive area. I'm not sure, but Saxby's in a little bit of pain, trying to shake it off. Forward down to Kaufman. Orlando with the ball. Kaufman double-teamed. It comes off to Ellis. Ellis is triple-teamed, and the ball squirts out to Sinclair. Here's O'Dane going forward. He's bumped down to the ground, and Kansas City trying to come back the other way, but held in by Orlando. Now Kaufman is there on the right side. He shoots and scores! Orlando 3, Kansas City 2. And it's Kaufman who gets the goal. Rodrigo Kaufman. Good gravy.
Take a look. O'Dane Sinclair again in the mix here. Found a wide open Kaufman. Nutmegged Mark Saxby. Saxby Tried to drop the angle. Kaufman waited, nutmegged him. 3-2 SeaWolves. And O'Dane Sinclair has been quite the problem in the handful for his former teammates. I wonder what he had for breakfast today.
Sinclair, his third assist to go along with his goal that he had in the first quarter. And not to mention the way he's playing defensively, Sinclair is a factor, big factor. Now back the other way come the Comets. Cortez kicks it away, but it's held in there by the Comets. Berto to Kelly. Kelly back to Kyle Williams. Now over to Leo. Back to Kyle's got space. He shoots and scores! Just like that, the Comets get the equalizer with 3:53 left to play in the first half. And it's Kyle Williams once again, his second on the night.
You've been calling his name a lot. We'll see the replay here, Nick. Good give and go with Gibson. Good run, change of foot, slid it underneath with his left foot, and we've been calling Kyle Williams' name a lot, not just tonight, but throughout the season. I think Coach Gibson would like to be himself delivering the ball more than having to carry the burden of all the shooting, so it's great when players run off him and he can just feed them through like he did with Kyle Williams that time.
Kyle Williams is 6th on the year. Gibson his 8th assist on the year, and we've got a timeout on the field. All right, we'll stay here for this one. It'll give us an opportunity to remind you that the official ball of the MASL is Miter, and the Comets would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddleston, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production back in 1817. Miter is a proud sponsor of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division Ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer.
Well, Nick, while you're reading it, you and I just got a shout out on Twitter from Pat Goldenfennig at Soccer Mom ×5.
Oh, yeah.
At Nick Vassos, at Eric Bergert. Stayed home tonight because of the weather. Didn't realize I'd been missing the dynamic duo of digital media by being at the arena. #fangirl. Pat, we wish you were here tonight. Thank you for watching us on MASL TV.
And Pat, thank you. And we would also like to say thank you to all of the fans who have tuned in to MASL. We know many of you decided to stay home because of the weather that is moving into our area right now. So there's probably a lot more people watching tonight on MASL TV, and we welcome you in. Also, we welcome those folks down in Orlando who might be watching their team on MASL TV and anybody else around the league, because there's only 2 games tonight, and if you want to catch an MASL game, hey, this is the only one on right now.
It's fantastic. And you mentioned that San Diego goal. Was it a goal? What it was not? I was watching that game against Ontario.
Yeah.
The ball went in the goal, so it was a goal, right?
That's what I thought, too. Boris Pardo's arm, I could not see anything below the elbow, so I know the ball was in there pretty deep.
So there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, we had fun with it on the MASL podcast, which you can get at maslsoccer.com, and we encourage you to get that. Also, they dropped episode number 7 of MASL Prime Time, and you can find that broadcast on the website as well, so check it out.
You mentioned the Sockers. They were wearing throwback jerseys this weekend, 30-year-old jerseys, and I had flashbacks to all the goals they used to score against the Comets in those jerseys.
Well, Kevin Ellis trying an unorthodox way to score a goal there. Tried his right foot. Here's Ellis again. Chests it, settles it, fires one in there. Blocked by Sinclair. Boy, how many times have we called Sinclair? And now foul called on Ellis as he rides up the back of Sinclair. O'Dane quickly gets it across the half line. Up to Tobias. Now back to Mota, who shoots, and that one just wide to the left. Looks like Saxby's okay.
Comets dodged one right there. Good ball movement by Orlando. Just a little bit wide. I've been impressed with Orlando. I know you mentioned at the start, a lot of rookies, big change in lineup, new coach.
They're together.
They've been practicing apparently a lot since December 22nd. They're extremely organized.
Yeah, they're good. They're talking out there. They're communicating. Played long. Cortez comes off his line to head it back to Kansas City side. Sandovari is out there. On back to Saxby. 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first half. We're tied at 3. Palmer forward to Kelly. Robert Palmer shouting out instructions for his teammates.
So we saw Milwaukee last week. They're going to press you a lot more than Orlando is. Orlando's dropping back, but Orlando, very organized defense all the way through this first half, Nick.
Here's Kelly. Rashad's got a mark on him. Kyle Williams with the ball on that brilliant Comets logo. Leaves it for Berto. 1 minute, 37 seconds left in the first half. Here's Berto. Up to Ray Lee. Ray Lee looking for someone to play it to. He finds Gibson. Gibson, quick pass over to Nacho, who shoots. Save by Cortez.
Once again, great ball movement. Leo found Nacho making the run. Fantastic save. And good pressure. See the Comets go double team in the corner.
And they get it. Off the boards. Cortez comes off his line, but first a foul is called on Mashad. And Kansas City will have a restart here with 1:01 left in the first half.
I would love to see them call a timeout right here and set this up, particularly as Gibson takes some time getting up. Ray Lee is setting up for potentially a top shelf left-footed shot. Kyle Williams is an option in the corner.
Williams on the near post. Here's Gibson. Gibson goes over the top, headed into the goal! Well, he didn't use his feet, he used his head. What a goal by Kevin Ellis. And there it is, his first goal this year, Mr. Kevin Ellis.
We'll take
How about
a look.
this one?
Third option. Ray Lee was first option. Kyle Williams was second. He went third option. The shots from his feet weren't doing it, so he found a way to score with his head.
Comets get their second lead in the game since they opened the game with a goal by Kyle Williams. Kevin Ellis.
Looked like Kevin Ellis was trying to get that ball to you, Nick. He just overshot it.
Last year, in just 10 games, Ellis scored 10 goals and had 4 assists, all right? This is his second game, and he gets his first goal. Ellis was an impact player. He was instant offense for the Comets last year, and good to see him get off the schneid.
And you could see he wanted that.
Yeah. No question about it. 45 seconds left. Here's O'Dane Sinclair. Sinclair cutting it back to his left. Hits it right off of Sandovari, and it comes right back to O'Dane. The Kingston Jamaican native trying to split the defense and gets chopped down like a large oak tree, and it'll be a restart coming up to Orlando.
And what I was about to say is you got to be careful with Sinclair's bodying you and spinning you. And what did he did? He bodied and spun. Tried to go right through Sandovari and Solorio. I'd take a timeout. Thank you. They took their timeout.
Sure did.
Yeah. Well, the Comets didn't need it. They had the play set. Orlando, why not use it? 32 seconds left. Not the best angle, but perhaps you could get somebody to run off the left side, come in the middle, crank one shot, top shelf towards Saxby. Otherwise, you're probably looking in the corner.
Timeout on the field with 32.6 seconds left. The other game in the MASL tonight is Turlock at Tacoma. That's on MASL TV at 9:35 Central Time. Tomorrow, Saturday on MASL TV, it's the undefeated Monterey Flash. They're 9-0. They'll be traveling down to Mesquite, Texas to take on the Outlaws. They're at 3-4. That game, 7:05. And then Ontario will be at Sonora. That game is also set for 7:05. And then Sunday, There are a trio of matches on MASL TV. Harrisburg at UCFC, both teams 5-2. That kicks off at 1:05 in the afternoon Central Time. St. Louis will travel to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is 6-1, and that game kicks off at 1:07. And then Orlando at Florida, that game at 2:05 Central Time. There's your rundown for the weekend games on MASL TV. 4-3 is our score here. Restart coming up to Orlando, and behind the ball is Eduardo Cruz. Cruz will trigger the restart. Cruz up top to Tobias. His shot is blocked by Palmer of the Comets. 26 seconds left to play in the first. Cruz back there, along with Cortez, the goalkeeper. Cortez, his right foot into it. Headed back towards the center circle. Aranjo is there. 10 seconds left. They got to get something going in a hurry here. 5 seconds left. Off the boards, it comes around, and Saxby wipes the glass clean. Horn sounds, and that is it for the first half. Kansas City coming back with 2 goals there. 2 goals here to finish out the second quarter to give Kansas City a 4-3 lead. We're going to stand by here for just a few moments to see if we might be able to talk with the coach before we send it off to break here. Steve Serrano appears to, I think he's going to get a chance to talk with the Comets head coach, Leo Gibson. Nope, it's not going to be Leo. It looks like it's going to be Alan Mayer. Alan Mayer, the Comets goalkeeper coach.
Leo did some coaching.
Yes, he did.
You do this.
How'd it look in the first half for you guys?
Well, I thought we did pretty well. Orlando came out very, very nicely, and they're making a very competitive game, and hopefully we can just have our composure. We'll make probably a few adjustments at halftime and see how we go from there.
What do you see that could really help you guys in the second half?
Well, we need to have more pressure up top. If we can get more pressure on them, maybe we can get in a lucky goal here or there.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Alan Mayer, one of the all-time great players. His number is retired here at Silverstein Ice Center's arena, hangs in the rafters there, and great to see him on my television right there. We'll take a break. We're at halftime. KC 4, Orlando 3.
in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Halftime in Kansas City, where the Comets have a 4-3 lead over the Orlando SeaWolves. Kansas City with 2 late goals there in the second quarter to get their second lead of the game. Our halftime show continues here on MASL TV. We'll be right back. We'll have some highlights for you as we continue here from Silverstein.
in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Yourself to the finer things in life. In life.
Halftime here in Kansas City, Eric Bergrud and Nick Vassos. Comets with a 4-3 lead over the Orlando SeaWolves. What are your initial impressions of the first half, Eric?
Orlando came out compact defensively. I think surprised the Comets getting on the scoreboard early. We saw a lot of O'Dane Sinclair, not just defensively, but getting on the offensive side. Scored a great top shelf goal and then assisted on another.
Yeah, he's been a beast. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights here, and we're going to start here in the first quarter, where we've got Kyle Williams, who got the Comets off to a good start here in a 1-0 lead. Kansas City holding that 1-0 lead, and Kevin Ellis there trying to make a bid for his first goal. Kevin Ellis, this is his second, or Kyle Williams' his second goal in the second quarter. And this is Kaufman for Orlando. That made it 3-2 Orlando. Kansas City coming back with several chances, including that one there by Nacho. And then Kevin Ellis there, that gave the Kansas City Comets their second lead of the game. Kevin Ellis, his first goal since coming back with the Comets. And Kansas City holding on to a 4-3 lead. That was one brilliant save there by Mark Saxby and another brilliant goal by Ray Lee. One of the things we've seen from Ray Lee, Eric, he has such a powerful shot from distance. And
that creates challenges and opportunities for the Comets. getting him in the right position, not just in the flow of play, but on set pieces. You want to start seeing him off of corner kicks, off of free kicks. But imagine, if you think back to a player like Kim Rudfett, who could drill shots from outside, that changes the dynamics quite a bit. And to have Ray Lee consistently score goals like this, it's going to be interesting to see how many goals.
All right. One more break to go here, and then we come back. We're going to have a second half action. Kansas City 4 and Orlando 3.
in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Yourself to the final things in life.
We are having a blast here in Kansas City on MASL TV. They are banging the drum as the Comets lead 4-3 over the Orlando SeaWolves. Alongside Eric Bergerud, I'm Nick Vassos. Brad Zimmerman is our director. We also have Rachel Tooney. She's got replays. Wags, Paul Stokes, and Taylor Kopic rounds out the rest of our broadcast team here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Thanks for sharing part of your evening here on MASL TV. And I have a correction. And I've been known to mispronounce names before. I'm not perfect here. And I've been saying Kevin. I was saying Kevin Naranjo earlier in the first half, but it's Kevin Narano, right?
That is right.
Did I do that right, Eric?
That is right.
Kevin Narano. So
that
anyway,
right.
So Kevin Narano, we're going to get his name right, and we're going to continue on here in the second half. I just wanted to make that correction and let you know that the Comets' next home game is going to be a tough one. They're going to welcome in the defending champs once again Friday night, the Milwaukee Waves, 7:05. In fact, Eric, get this, the Comets are going to face Milwaukee in 3 of their next 5 games.
Well, and we know what to expect. We saw, as you said earlier, it started off as a competitive game. It was 3-2 at the end of 3, and then Milwaukee just ran down the Comets.
We got some Orlando SeaWolves fans here at
How about
Silverstein
that?
Ice Centers Arena. How about that?
I hope they get out of town back
Yeah.
safely tomorrow.
Looking at some of these players here from like West Palm Beach, Florida, I'm like, wow, that'd be a really nice place to be tonight, don't you think?
Welcome to the Major Arena Soccer League. My memories, now I say this, I grew up watching indoor soccer in LA, but after I moved to the Midwest, my memories are like, you don't know how bad the snow is outside when you're at that time Kemper Arena. And so that's one of the joys of that winter arena soccer schedule in the Midwest and the North, the Northeast, et cetera. You just kind of never know what to expect when you get out there.
That's true. And, you know, and that's what we're dealing with tonight here. You see a lot of empty seats, and that's kind of unusual here at Silverstein on a weekend game for the Comets. Typically, we'll have at least 4,000 in the building, and that's what we were expecting here tonight. But there is a major snowstorm that is moving into our area, and it's just beginning tonight. It starts with freezing rain, freezing drizzle. It's going to transition. The temperature is going to go. It's going to drop. It's going to fall like a rock, and then eventually the snow is going to move in. So weather is a big deal, and so everybody just kind of wanted to be safe and stay home tonight. So we don't have the full complement of fans here tonight, but the people who are here are loud and proud, and we appreciate that.
I almost feel like I should ask you for some traffic advice getting out of Silverstein. Which way should I go? So, as I was saying earlier, there were some big brine trucks putting it down in the right lane coming east on I-70. So if you're driving around Kansas City tonight or tomorrow, be safe. I think that there's people that are – we'll see.
Yeah, I wonder, though, if they're going to put down that brine and it's raining outside right now, won't that brine just wash off the pavement?
I'm not an expert.
I mean, I think that's like a waste of money, isn't it, when they put the brine down and it just washes away?
It looked like the rain was stopping, though, so I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe, you know what? A lot smarter people deal with that stuff than me here. I'm just throwing a dart out there.
Well, you mentioned Milwaukee. So Milwaukee comes back to town next Friday, and then both teams have to turn around and head north to Milwaukee for a Martin Luther King afternoon special, late morning afternoon special. And so those back-to-back games, that second game can start getting really chippy because the emotions – the hard feelings from game one. It's kind of like when you play in the playoffs and there's the back-to-back with the mini game. That second game, they remember what happened a few days ago, and so the scores to settle. And but the Comets right now, they can see the pathway forward. They need some help near the top as teams like Harrisburg and Utica City battle each other. But there is a pathway up to that number 4 spot.
You and I talked last game when Milwaukee was here. The Comets are going to have to get wins against teams like Milwaukee if they're going to climb to the top of the table or to get into playoff position.
You really need to they can't afford to lose too many more home games, and they need to pick up some quality wins on the road. That game in Milwaukee coming up a week and a half from now, that would be a critical win.
Yep. All right, we are underway here in the second half. Kansas City 4 and Orlando 3. Orlando with the ball to begin the third quarter, and their keeper, Fernando Cortez, with the ball. He kicks it forward. Berto comes off his back line to touch it, and then kicked into the middle there by Cruz, and this goes out of bounds off of, Ron Corey says, Kansas City.
Kyle Williams thought there was a deflection. Ron Corey didn't see it the same way, and we'll play on.
Here's Nascimento. Back to Cortez, who is 1-0 so far this year. He was 2-3 for the sidekicks last year. Cortez over to O'Dane Sinclair. Sinclair using the wall to get by one defender. Trying to get by Ray Lee. Goes down, gets back up. Now a battle for the 50-50 ball in the midfield area. Touched by Nacho, picked up by Ray Lee. Ray off the boards, looking for Nacho, front and center, almost a beautiful play.
That was a great pass from Ray Lee. Unfortunate for Nacho, got his feet caught underneath him, but Ray Lee continues to impress.
Here's Saxby. Over to Lewis. Saxby forward to Lewis now. Lewis gets tripped up by Tobias, and the Comets will have a restart here just inside the Orlando yellow line.
I've been talking about Leo Gibson adjusting between playing point and playing back. Ray Lee's been back and forth. Kevin Ellis back and forth. Don't see that call too often. Take too much time?
Oh, I guess so. 4 seconds. That's right. 4 seconds. Not 5, 4. 13 minutes to play in the third. Kansas City with a 1-goal lead. Orlando chugging right down Main Street, coming up to Tobias. Back to Jackson. Now Sinclair, who called his name quite a bit tonight. Sinclair back to Cruz. And then Cortez. By the way, we heard from Andrew Haynes. You and I were talking about the number of practices that maybe Tom Traxler had with the SeaWolves since they hadn't played a game since December 22nd. Guess how many practices, you watching at home, guess how many practices that the SeaWolves have had with Tom Traxler?
I know the answer because I saw the tweet.
2 practices.
That's amazing.
That's a testament to the players and to the coach. Because Orlando has come out with some fire here in KC. Lewis on back to Ellis.
Appreciate Andrew Haynes not only watching the game, but actually listening too.
Forward from Nacho, down to Gibson. Gibson pressed up against the glass, and it's won back by Orlando. Narano with the ball.
I like the way you said that.
Rashad over to Jackson. That one left for Cruz. A deliberate approach here by Orlando. Kevin Narano's got it on back to Cortez. Now Nascimento with a quick touch back to Cortez. Forward looking to get it to Kaufman. But Berto steps in front for KC, and then Kelly touches it back to Kyle Williams, and the Comets will build it out of the back.
Not to belabor the point, but Kyle Williams playing deep too, so it's almost like a fluid lineup where people aren't set in a specific position. Kind of an interesting approach that Leo Gibson's taken the last couple games.
Ray Lee working on Kaufman. Kaufman of Orlando got it away, but Ray Lee gets it back. Here's Ray Lee. Shot to Kelly, and he scores! Robert Kelly gives the Comets a 5-3 lead.
And you know everybody thought Ray Lee was going to shoot that. He was very selfless there and found Kelly in the corner. We'll see this on the replay. Ray Lee on his left foot. People looked at it. He drew it across his body, slid it on the ground. Robert Kelly of the famous Kansas City soccer family, the Kellys, scores 1.
Congratulations, Robert Kelly. You have just scored your first goal of the year. He played 2 games last year for the Comets, and he's played a much larger role, and look at that. That is awesome. That might be his nephew right there.
Fantastic.
That is fantastic. As you talked about it, Robert Kelly comes from a family. They're all soccer players in the family. His brother, Pat Kelly, played a little while in Kansas City, played for Cedar Rapids as well. His sister, Katie, and his other sister, Megan. He went to college at Tulsa, and he's also the assistant coach for the Avila women.
Whose head coach is Katie. So
his head coach is Katie,
go.
so exactly. It all runs in the family, doesn't it? Pretty cool. So now a 2-goal bulge by the Comets. That's the biggest lead for either team so far tonight. Cruz. Here's Mashad. Forward it comes to Mota. Back to Cruz. Mashad. Near side, Cruz. Kaufman. Double teamed. Sandovari is there. Cruz sends it around the board. Saxby's got it.
Good shift there from Hector Solorio. Again, a forward playing back a little bit, helping out his teammate Sandovari there.
Berto plays it forward to Kevin Ellis. An immediate double team of Kevin Ellis, and Orlando steals the ball right back.
Good pressure there by Ray Lee.
And the Comets take it back. Now Ray Lee with a drive, and Ray Lee does it again.
Comets pressured. What did Alan Mayer say at halftime when he was talking to Steve Serrano? We need to get a little bit of pressure up front, and here's what Ray Lee did.
Comets extend the lead to 3.
So Ray Lee pressed, got the loose ball. You think he's going to shoot top shelf. He drove it on the ground. Nothing Cortez could do. It is 6-3 all of a sudden there, Nick.
7th on the year for Ray Lee. How about this kid, Ray Lee? I tell you, really good things are happening with him, but you can tell he is just playing with more and more confidence.
Another local player, which is great. All the local guys playing a role, not just today, but throughout the season. And when you get a defender who can put together that many goals, that's a powerful combination for the Comets.
Ray Lee from Kansas City, of course. He had 3 goals. He had the hat trick against Tacoma. Now at the other end, Orlando trying to answer. Saxby gets a piece. Here's Sinclair out front. He shoots no good. Rebound. Score from Jackson.
I was going to say brave defending by Sandovari, brave goalkeeping by Saxby. However, Sinclair did it again. This was all O'Dane Sinclair. Sandovari came up with a great defensive play. Saxby came up big. Sinclair hung in there. That's another assist for O'Dane Sinclair.
What a game by O'Dane Sinclair tonight. His 4th assist on the year, his 2nd on the night to go along with a goal. So a goal and 2 assists for O'Dane Sinclair. And we're not even talking about the defensive effort and everything that he's done to help out his teammates.
You know, there's that old adage, Nick, about wanting to play against your former team, your former teammates.
Yeah.
Well, he's lived it tonight.
No question.
That was a great shot by Berto, though.
Rattles the cage off the crossbar and out of bounds. It's turned over to Orlando. Robert Palmer from Kingston, Jamaica. So Orlando pressing up. It cut the lead to 2. Kansas City back on offense. Here's Guy Gomes with a drive and a save made by Cortez. He popped it up into the air and it goes over the glass and will stay with the Comets.
I got a direct message on Twitter. His fiance is here watching the game, and her Park University teammates there. I wrote at halftime, hey, number 27 needs to score a goal. And Lydia Parker, his fiance, wrote, tell me about it. Almost had one there.
Comets in the right wing corner. It's Gibson through the area, and guess who? Kevin Ellis again off the restart. 2nd goal by Kevin Ellis. And assist by Gibson.
I was saying he might have been pressing a little bit on his hard shots, Nick. So what does he do? He heads one into the first half, dinks one in here in the 3rd quarter. Coach Gibson, look at that. Behind, goal.
Ellis, number 2 on the year. Gibson, his 9th assist. Kansas City back out to a 3-goal lead over Orlando.
Sort of a back-heely type goal there for Ellis. So he's headed one in. He's back-heeled one. What's going to be next? And I wonder if he and Ray Lee are having a little battle to see who's going to get to the hat trick first.
Kevin Ellis, the Oak Park High School graduate. Played, of course, Sporting Kansas City. Helped the Comets to the playoffs last year. And Leo Gibson, another helper for Leo. Again, his 9th on the year. Kansas City 7, Orlando 4.
A little frustrating there for the SeaWolves. Comets had scored. Ray Lee and then O'Dane Sinclair got that assist, and all of a sudden it was a 2-goal game. Yep. The Comets come right back around, make it a 3-goal game. And so Orlando's probably thinking, what do we have to do here?
Ribeiro heels it back for a teammate, but it's picked off by Kansas City. Sandovari coming back the other way, puts on the brakes, leaves it for Nacho.
Looked like Solorio might have been running for Gibson here. I'm going to keep an eye on that. We had talked about Stefan Stokic being the runner for Coach Gibson.
That's typically how they like to play, right?
Right.
Here's Lee. He'll try the right foot that time. Comes off the glass to Nacho. Nacho couldn't measure it, so he'll play it front and center to Kelly. Robert Kelly getting his first goal as a member of the Comets. His first professional goal as a Comet tonight. Matt Lewis digging it out of the boards, playing it forward to Kelly. Kelly's got space, looking for far post, across the goal mouth, and Ray Lee will play it back front and center again.
I would be remiss, Nick, if I didn't mention that one of Alexi Lawless's favorite bands is in some sort of mix here. Round and Round by Rat. Alexi Lawless, not only a great soccer player, but also a musician and a heavy metal aficionado, and I just had this feeling if he were here, he would appreciate the music choice.
Media timeout.
All right, media timeout. And I have a music note to tell you about, too, when we come back from the break. 6:54 left to play in the third. Kansas City 7, Orlando 4.
Yourself to the finer things in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
All right, we're back. Live look here, Kevin Ellis. Comets are on the restart. Just outside the yellow line. Leo Gibson off the boards, looking for Berto in the middle. Kicked away by Orlando and out of bounds. It'll stay with Kansas City. Here's Gibson to Kyle Williams, front and center. Ellis is still out there and he scores! Oh my goodness, Kevin Ellis from the seat of his pants. He flicked it in with his left foot and he now has the hat trick.
He beat Ray Lee to it, just as we were saying. Perseverance there, one time, two times, three times. We'll see this on the replay.
Holy cow. Boy, that gives you an idea of his athleticism. Look at this. Ball loose.
Tried it the first time.
One time.
Tried it the second
time. Oh, you're kidding me.
Then he went top shelf. Dinged a little cookie jar.
Oh, you ought to give that one the sniff. Whoa, Kevin Ellis.
And as you were saying earlier, his second game back, he had an immediate impact when he came to the Comets last year.
Yeah. Keep the change. All right? No, I want the change back.
Nick Vassos is handing out money to everybody in the press box. Unfortunately, he didn't give me any.
8-4, Comets on top. We were talking earlier about music. We talked about Alexi Lawless and his love for hard rock music. Today there was sad news in the music world. One of my all-time favorite bands, Rush, lost a member of their band, Neil Peart, their drummer and lyricist for so many years, passed away at the age of 67 today. Rush has always been one of my favorite bands, and the Canadian Trio was something that I still listen to today. Kansas City pressuring Cortez in the final third. Cortez nowhere to go. Leo Gibson comes over, and Cortez able to get it up to Naranjo, and then eventually to Sinclair. But the Comets knock it away. Here's Gibson coming back. Gibson off the boards, flashing into the middle, and Cortez able to gather it up for the SeaWolves.
We've seen the evolution of the goalkeeper in the Major Arena Soccer League. Being able to play with your feet, well, not just one foot, but both feet now, is becoming critical. We're also seeing teams pressing goalkeepers. And so you can score some goals that way, but goalkeepers who can get out of that pressure can create some odd man matches the other way too. And so I thought that Cortez did an effective job getting out of pressure there, but I would anticipate to see the Comets. They'll pick their chances to make him make a tough choice.
Here's a steal by Ellis. Ellis! Oh, he rolled over the top of that one. Rebound comes out to Kyle Williams. He couldn't handle it. Mashad comes up with it for Orlando. Here comes the SeaWolves down the left side. He fires a shot looking far post, and the Comets able to keep it out. He was looking for Kaufman, and Ray Lee came up with the block. Got it up to Kyle Williams, but Orlando takes it right back.
Mota called for a handball. Ron Corey very immediately said it hit his chest.
Cruz, wall pass. Berto, back to Ray Lee. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the third. Comets have opened up a 4-goal lead.
Look at Nacho's run on the back post. Can you see him, Robert?
There's Robert Kelly to Matt Lewis. Robert Kelly to Gibson. Leo leaves it for Sandovari. Tracking back now is Nacho Flores. Comets working their offense. Building it up. Kelly tried to go inside, poked away. Now Nacho feeds the corner. Oh, Gibson, he's got some space. Back to Kelly. Oh, he was looking for the volley, and it's knocked out of bounds off of Orlando. And that'll give the Comets a good chance here right at the top of the yard.
Good movement again. Kelly give and go with Gibson. Gibson trying to get another assist. Wasn't meant to be, but here is another opportunity. You'd love to see John Sosa out here. He is not. We'll see what Coach Gibson does. Could Kevin Ellis get a fourth here?
Leo to Ellis, the left footer. Low that. Oh, they're going to call Ellis for the foul. Kevin didn't agree. Says a few things to Ron Corey, but must not have been as colorful as the last or his first game against Milwaukee. Forward to Mota. Back to Naranjo. Over to Mashad. Now forward Ribeiro. Off the wall. Solario was there in a good defensive play to kick it out wide. Held in by Orlando. Down near side, it's Mota again. Now Naranjo.
Strong defense there from Ray Lee.
Strong Ray Lee and Ribeiro just battling in the area. And the Comets are going to come up with it.
Solorio off, Gibson on. So Solorio has basically taken the Stefan Stokic role tonight. Great to see him getting minutes. I'm sure his dad would love to see him getting a goal or two. It will come in time.
Yes, it will. Coming up on 3 minutes to play in the third. 4-goal lead by KC. Gomez forward for Gibson. Sinclair is there for Orlando. Sinclair kicks it over his head. Headed back in by the Comets. And then sent into the area by Gibson. Lewis with a touch. Now Gomez. Gomez, good pass. Healed back into the goal. That's Nacho Flores. What a goal by Nacho. His second on the year, and the Comets lead 9-4.
So I was mentioning Gomez and his fiance and how he needed a goal. That was a great pass from Guy Gomez. We take a look at him. Slid it in between two players, and then Nacho decides, we'll try a back heel goal. In the Major Arena Soccer League, that won't count as an own goal on Sinclair. That'll be a goal for Flores. He earned that one, by the way, though. That was a very cheeky ball. All credit there, both to Nacho as well as Guy Gomez.
I am so happy for Nacho to get that goal. He's had some knee problems last year. He still has some lingering soreness in that knee. And to see him have success on the field is just such a, it just adds to the Comets, their ability. He's a good player, and I know expectations are high for Nacho. It's just good to see him when he does well, and I know he's been set back by injuries.
Great for him. Unfortunately for Gomez, since it was an own goal, Flores will count for the goal, but it'll be unassisted. But
Gotcha.
You saw it, I saw it. That was a great pass Guy made between two sliding SeaWolves defenders.
2 minutes to play, 9-4. Comets have extended their lead. They are pulling away. The Comets have 3 straight now here in the third.
It was like they couldn't buy a goal against Milwaukee last week, and we're almost at double digits here, Nick.
Yeah, 5 goals in all here in this third quarter for the Comets. Cortez plays it long, and the ball loose to Saxby's right, and Mark's got it. Leaves it for Kelly. Kelly up to Leo. Leo plays it out wide to the right. Cortez comes off his line. Cortez caught in no man's land. Here's Sandovari with a drive. No good. Rebound shots.
Handball.
Blocked off the line.
Handball.
And a handball called against Sinclair. And that should be a shootout for Kansas City.
Yeah, and poor Mirko Sandovari, he had a terrible angle, and I know he wanted that goal, but it wound up being a great wall pass to Leo Gibson. We'll take a look here.
Correction, penalty kick coming up.
Yep. Great pressure there from Sandovari. I was saying earlier, Comets are going to pick and choose when they're going to pressure the goalkeeper.
Number 5, O'Dane Sinclair, 2 minutes for a handball.
Yeah. So Leo will try to get the Comets into double digits.
Penalty kick. Let's make some noise, Comets fans!
If Leo does not convert on the penalty kick, it'll be a power play, and Leo does. Leo Gibson, a penalty kick goal for Leo, and that's his first goal on the night, his 13th on the year. 4 straight for the Comets in this third, and it's now 10-4.
He just stood up, Nick, made Cortez commit. Very comfortable goal. You think he had a conversation with himself? We'll take a look at this. Coach is having a conversation with himself. Who should take this penalty kick? I guess Gibson should. First of all, we're going to see what led to that. Sandovari, great pressure there on Cortez. Bad angle to score, but wound up being a great pass to Gibson. Handball on Sinclair.
Yeah, how about Sandovari? We'll talk about him in a second here, but here's the penalty kick by Leo.
He saw Cortez was moving, just slid it down the middle, more or less down the middle. Nothing Cortez could do. And we're at double digits.
I would not be a goalkeeper wanting to face a penalty kick against that guy right there. No, thank you. But Sandovari, credit to him. As you mentioned, Eric, terrible angle, so he decides, you know what? I'll pass it into the area, and his teammate was right there. So,
and there you are, and good pressure. I mean, ultimately, that's how you're going to buy goals. I'm not saying that would necessarily work against Milwaukee, but you have to find those opportunities.
Matt Lewis, now Gibson again. Here's Lewis again with a drive, and he popped it over.
And he hit his head. He knew he had the top shelf wide open. Just skied it a little bit.
Well, the Comets have broken this game wide open now, and they're getting all kinds of chances. 40 seconds left to play in the third. 4-0. Saxby on up to Lewis, and
he thought too much about that.
Yep, went right underneath his leg. Sinclair chases it into the corner. Lewis and Kyle Williams are both there. Sinclair banging bodies with Kyle Williams. Who's going to come up with the ball? Mota is over there now. Kevin Ellis is there. Touches it over to Leo.
2 minutes.
Ellis is going to go down, and a penalty is coming up against Orlando. Here is Gibson to Lewis. Lewis goes around one player. Wall pass. Looking for Leo in the area. Touched by Orlando. The horn sounds before Orlando touches it. And that's the end of the third.
Orlando SeaWolves
We'll take a break and we'll sort out the penalties when we come back. Kansas City in charge, 10-4.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Doing the YMCA here at Silverstein Eye Center's Arena. Eric Bergerud. I'm Nick Vassos on MASL TV. Comets in control, 10-4. Kevin Ellis, the hat trick for Kansas City. And Nacho with several assists tonight. And Leo Gibson has a goal and 2 assists tonight. So good contributions from up and down the lineup here tonight. And they're sorting out the penalty right now. Comets are going to go on the power play here after a hold. Did you see the player? Is it Mota who's going to be sent off there?
I actually didn't. It looks like Mota. I was so focused on Ellis, like, go ahead and score.
It's Eduardo Cruz.
Okay,
Correction.
there you go. You got it.
I was close. Mota wears 7. Cruz wears 17. So
okay.
All right, so the Comets go on the power play. And this is an area that the Comets might need to improve upon just a little bit. They're 3 of 10 on power play opportunities, just 30%. And for penalty killing, Orlando is not bad. They have been shorthanded 17 times, and they've allowed just 6 power play goals, so that's 65%. Not too bad. Nacho with a drive, and that one blocked by Nascimento out of bounds. Nacho to Williams. Now Williams. His pass, a little bit off the mark. Williams gets it back. Now front and center, Leo. Leo to Ray Lee. On the doorstep, he couldn't hit the rebound. Nacho thought about it. Sit over to Gibson. Gibson looking far post to Williams. Is headed out of bounds. Stay with Kansas City.
This feels a bit like the Milwaukee game in reverse. It was really tight up at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, the stronger team wore the other team down that night.
So the official penalty is holding on Eduardo Cruz. Holding on Eduardo Cruz. And the Comets on the power play here for the next minute and 15 seconds. Restart coming up from the right wing corner. Brian Martin places it on the spot, and Ellis will be behind the ball for KC. Ellis to Leo, left-footed shot. blocked by Mashad of the SeaWolves. Ray Lee holds it in. He fires a shot. That one deflected wide by Sinclair.
That was on target, Nick.
Mashad comes out with it across the half line. Marked closely there by Ray Lee. Some help from Kevin Ellis. Kevin Ellis comes over and takes the ball back. Leaves it for Gibson. Comets set up their power play. 49 seconds left on the man advantage to KC. To Ray Lee. Back to Ellis. Ball pinging around and then kicked out of bounds. He didn't want to do it. That's going to give Kansas City. Narano knocked it out of bounds, and they'll give the Comets a chance right at the top of the arc.
I'm looking at Ray Lee back post. Kevin Ellis might want a fourth goal. Few options here for Leo Gibson.
Here's Leo. To Williams. Off the near post, no good. Rebound comes back out towards Gibson. 30 seconds left on the power play. And Ron Corey calls a foul against Orlando.
Well, and you may be saying right now the Comets are up by 6. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is they have Milwaukee coming up several times, and you need to get every goal opportunity converted. Now, keep in mind, John Sosa's not here, Lucas Rodriguez. So some of the usual power play. Oh, what a goal.
Whoa, Kevin Ellis from the concession stands goes top shelf where Grandma keeps the cookies. And the Comets score a, was that just after the, no, it is a power play goal. And the Comets lead 11-4. What a shot from Ellis.
We'll take a look at that. He was outside the yellow, no pressure on him, took 2 touches.
Oh,
Orlando just sat back a little bit, and he scored a goal just about every possible way you could. On the ground, in the air, by your head, trying to figure out what's next. And I would imagine he is making his place for the MASL Team of the Week.
What a
pretty
yeah,
tact.
What a game Kevin Ellis is having. He has just exploded on the scene here tonight. 11-4, KC in control. Sinclair trying to loft it into the area. Saxby goes up into the air and then eventually kicks it back to the half line. Kansas City looking to go 3-1 at home. Comets will have one more home game before they head back out on the road. That'll be next weekend when the Comets host the Milwaukee Wave on Friday night. It's a 7:05 game.
A win tonight puts pressure on St. Louis. Both teams entered the night 3-5. Baltimore entered 4-5.
St. Louis has a game Sunday against Milwaukee in Milwaukee. So a great opportunity for KC to leapfrog St. Louis this weekend.
I think what's a challenge for not only for us but MASL fans, when you look at the Eastern standings and you try to figure out who's there, there's some quirky things that the numbers don't tell you. As an example, Harrisburg is sitting tied for 3rd place with a 5-2 record. Well, Harrisburg has played Rochester 5 times this season. So we don't know how they're going to shake out against the other teams. St. Louis looked like they were doing well, beat the Comets twice there.
Saxby racing back and makes the save, and then up and throwing to Berto. Nearly a perfect pass, but Orlando comes out with it. Narano into the corner. Shot. Goal by the SeaWolves. What a play by Narano to get it down to the corner. And who gets the goal? That is Luis Mota.
The leading scorer coming in for the SeaWolves. Good ball movement. One touch off the chest.
Oh, what a goal. That is a thing of
Made
beauty
no
right
mistake
there.
with that, Nick. Yep. Good player.
So that makes it 11-5. And for Mota, that's his 5th goal on the season. 5th goal. Saxby's pass nearly picked off by Mota. Deflected over to Sandovari. He kicks it up to the half line. Orlando fighting for it, but guess who gets it? Kevin Ellis gets it. He breaks out. Kevin Ellis is taken down on a clean tackle. Both teams play on.
Ron Corey had both arms flapping in the air. No foul.
Gibson trying to set it through to Ellis. Boy, Ellis, he looks like he's hungry for a 5th. A 50-50 ball won by Orlando. Tobias to Richard. Now Narano to Mota. Through the area to Tobias. Back into the mixer. Driven in there once again by Tobias and deflected out by the Comets.
In a game like this, you've probably seen this many times, Nick, when it's one-sided and players start thinking, ooh, I can get a goal, ooh, I can get a goal. It's very easy to lose your shape defensively. Then all of a sudden, an 11-4 lead becomes 11-5 and 11-6 and 11-7, and then you have to get reorganized.
Drive by Narano over the glass. Goalkeeper distribution coming up to Mark Saxby and the Kansas City Comets. Orlando, after this game, is going to spend the next 5 weeks in the Sunshine State of Florida. Their next 2 games will be at the Tropics, and then they'll have 3 straight games at home against St. Louis, Baltimore, and San Diego. All those games will be on MASL TV, and looks like we've got a timeout on the field. Kansas City calls timeout. Kansas City calls timeout, and we will remind you that you can get all the latest news and keep up with all of the latest from your favorite team on social media. So make sure that you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you follow MASL Arena on Twitter. And don't forget about the official podcast. The MASL's podcast returns for the 2019-2020 season. So join us when we talk to players, officials, and coaches from across the league. We'll take you behind the scenes. We'll talk about the biggest plays and the biggest stories of the MASL. You can find it all at MASLsoccer.com. Your host is Jeff Houston. I was honored to join Jeff in the latest podcast, which dropped last Thursday or Friday. Anyway, we had a great time talking indoor arena soccer. You also can catch up on past episodes, and you can also subscribe to the official MASL podcast through Apple Podcasts. So check it out. Oh, and the latest edition of MASL Prime Time is available at MASLsoccer.com, episode number 7, which is a great show. Fans are getting a lot of good content from the Arena League this year. I'm so glad the league is doing this. Letting players, have some insight on this guy right here, Mark Saxby. He is one of the more interesting players that you'll find in the arena game. Last year during the playoffs in Milwaukee, it was, we were just coming out of winter, right? And we're just kind of heading into spring, right? And Milwaukee, of course, is located on the shores of Lake Michigan, right? Saxby thought it would be a good idea for him to take the van down towards Lake Michigan and hop in Lake Michigan, where the temperature is a cool, 49 degrees, 50 degrees. Took a swim before he played the game. D. Gomez with a drive. Poked away by Nascimento.
One of these games, Nick, Hector Solorio will score, and his father will lose his voice.
The drums and the chants that you hear is coming from Labara KC. And that is all the work done by Hector Solorio Sr. His son Hector plays for the Comets. And as you might imagine, like any dad, if his son scores a goal, he would lose his voice. Might lose his mind too.
Yeah, that's him.
8.5 to play in the game. 11-5 Comets. We'll see if Coach Traxler decides to put in.
That one hurt.
Oh, Berto
That
just
one
took
hurt.
one right off the chest.
That was going in goal too.
Yeah. And he blocked it right off the line. Oh, Berto taking one for the team. It's still hurting him. Saxby lost it had it for a second, then lost it. Poked back in there. Ribeiro, correction, gets a touch on it. Back to Narano. Moda off the wall. 7 minutes and 39 seconds left to play. Orlando back into Ribeiro. Ribeiro turns off the mark. Now Mota with a drive. And that one out of bounds. And we've got a media timeout. With 7:26 left to play in the game, Kansas City in control by a score of 11-5. Glad you're with us on MASL TV.
Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
There's Hector on the horn.
Got the wave going during that media timeout.
I love it. Gibson to Ellis. He's got a four-bagger. Now make it 5. He's got 5 on the night. It's 12-5. Holy cow.
Making up for lost time. First game was last week. He's like, oh, I missed a bunch of games. Let's see the replay on this. Pass from Leo. Good save on the first by Chacon, by Cortez. Second time. And so we saw that in the third quarter. It was a third time that he just does not give up, Nick.
You're right, absolutely. He scored a header. He scored one from the seat of his pants.
Scored a top shelf. He drilled one on the ground.
I can't keep up.
It's like playing horse in soccer. I'm just going to call my shots.
5 for Kevin Ellis. Let's just give him Player of the Week honors right now, right? Oh, and Leo comes up with the assist. Holy cow.
if you go back or think back to the first quarter, Nick, it looked like he was pressing on his shots
Right.
and that nothing was going to go in, and all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6.5 to play in the game. Everybody just needs to keep their cool here, maintain their poise, let things get out of control. Orlando with a drive off the glass. A rebound comes off to O'Dane Sinclair. O'Dane's had a nice night tonight. He runs over Matt Lewis, and a foul is called on Orlando.
They called it on Lewis.
Oh, they called it. I know. How about that? All right.
Interesting.
Berto will play along. Cortez will gather it up. Don't think we'll see the sixth attacker here from Traxler. Just guessing. The spread is too wide right now. And Cortez looks pretty good with his feet, too.
Yeah, so they're going to play him up. We saw that with Paulo in St. Louis.
Yep.
Who knows? We may see a shot. We've seen Paulo score this year.
Nascimento over the top of the defense, over to Mata. Kansas City knocks it away. Looked like Robert Palmer was going to come out with it. Instead, it'll stay in the Comets' last third. Mata battling Ray Lee. Loose ball fought for and picked up there by Richard, who shoots and scores! Richard with a goal, his first on the night.
Almost had the one that Berto blocked off the line. He drilled one with his right foot. That time it was his left foot. Across his body.
Richard gets his first goal of the season. He is one of the rookies on this team.
Nacho went in for the ball. Didn't take it. And Jeff Michaud, been impressive, particularly this period. 2 great shots on goal, 1 converted.
So a native of West Palm Beach, Florida, gets his first tally. Opens up his account as a member of the Orlando SeaWolves.
We didn't start with an over-under in terms of how many goals would be scored, but I don't think we're done yet. We're at 18.
Oh, my. Saxby. Richard heads it out of bounds. It'll stay with Kansas City. See what the Comets do here. See if the Comets might try to possess the ball for about a minute here. Try to wind things down. Saxby up to Ellis. Ellis tried to redirect it. Lost it, but able to get it back to Berto. Forward to Ray Lee. Settles it to Leo. Leo will turn and fire! And that one is on the top shelf where Grandma keeps the cookies. 13 goals by the Comets. And Leo has his second on the night.
And Cruz was talking to a teammate. Cruz tried to defend Leo. A little bit of a two-hand grab. Leo spun off it. Top shelf.
Holy cow.
They weren't done scoring, Nick.
Let's see. Gibson now with 2 goals and at least 2 assists. He might have another assist that I don't have track of right now, but the great Leo Gibson just keeps on scoring. Under 5 to play. 13-6. Kansas City on top. Ray Lee comes up with the assist.
Remember the first quarter when Orlando was winning and they were up 1-0. The Comets tried to come back. Orlando kept scoring.
In fact, Orlando had a 2-1 lead over the Comets after the first quarter.
They did.
And we were saying, whoa. This Orlando team came to play. And
Good
really,
outlet throw here to Ray Lee.
Here's Lee with some nifty footwork. On over to Lewis. Lewis looking for a teammate. Finds Nacho.
Comets are playing 1 man short right now. Somebody's got to come off the bench.
Well, you're right. And Berto comes out for KC.
Good pass.
Good pass to Lewis. Forward to Ray Lee. Back to Lewis. And then stepping in front is Michard.
He's had a good quarter for the SeaWolves on both sides of the ball.
Gibson. His pass to Lewis, a little bit off the mark. Lopez with a touch. He'll play it back to his keeper. Cortez. Kansas City takes over. It's Gibson. Now Lewis.
Who wants to score?
Nacho fires one. That one just to the right of the goal. Leo Gibson darts back inside. Plays it front and center for Berto. 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to play in the game. Kansas City with their highest offensive output of the season. 13 goals tonight. Nacho to Robert Kelly.
That was a good pass.
Robert Kelly finds the back of the net, and it's now 14-6.
What a pass from Nacho. Again, great ball movement by the Comets. You mentioned Kelly getting his first earlier in the game. There was his second. We'll take a look on the replay. Nacho waited for the defender to commit. Found Kelly running in the middle. Kelly put it home. And if I'm Fernando Cortez, I'm thinking, I've seen enough. 14 goals. That's plenty.
Nacho with his at least 4th assist on the night.
We talked about bouncing back from that Milwaukee loss last Friday here, Nick. 14 goals. I think that helps. I'm not sure you want to give up 6 goals, but enough promising opportunity here on offense that I think Coach Gibson and the team can feel like they're making strides as they look to 2 matches in the coming 10 days, 11 days against the Wave.
And maybe by the time the Friday rolls around next week, the Comets will get some players back like Ray Sari and Lucas Rodriguez and Stefan Stokic. And with Kevin Ellis now playing with so much confidence and this game under their belt, maybe that's a recipe for the Comets to get a win against the defending champ. Under 2 to play in the game.
Oh, you got to be careful there, Kevin.
Yeah. 5 goals by Kevin Ellis, and he's still playing aggressively. Robert Kelly on up to Ellis. Ellis looking for Gibson, and it's headed out of bounds by Cortez.
That was actually a really good, smart play by the goalkeeper because Leo called for the ball in the corner. We've seen it so many times. Dump it in the corner to Leo. He turns and scores. You didn't lose much there by heading the ball out of bounds because otherwise it was Leo one-on-one.
They're going to give the Comets. Cortez is saying, what?
And you got to think that Kevin Ellis is like, I could score with my left foot right here.
Nice haircut, pal. That's our Game Ops producer right there. And he did it for charity.
Speaking for all the fellow balds here in the audience, I think he's just showing off.
He was raising money for the Raytown, Missouri Assistance Program. And apparently he had a lot of students involved doing that. And if they raised a certain amount of money, he would let the kids in I believe in cosmetology school to do whatever they wanted to his hair.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic. His hair is just it looks great. And what a great job there by the kids, too. Final seconds are ticking off here at Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Kansas City is going to go to 4-5 on the year, and the SeaWolves are going to fall to 1-6.
We were talking earlier about Lucas Sosa, who told us on the bench that he told Rodolfo Lopez, hey, you get a goal, but we want to score a lot against you. And Rodolfo Lopez scored the first goal for Orlando.
Yeah.
Comets scored 14.
14 goals. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, almost official. Horn sounds, and that will do it. The final score, Kansas City 14 and Orlando 6. We will stand by here to talk to some Comet players. I imagine we'll hear from Kevin Ellis, who was our man of the match. 5 goals for Kevin Ellis. Leo Gibson with a pair of goals and 2 assists. Nacho with 4 assists. Robert Kelly with a pair of goals tonight. Kyle Williams has a pair of goals tonight.
Ray Lee, we were talking about him early, thinking he was going to go straight to hat trick, and all of a sudden Kevin Ellis says, see ya.
I got this. Hold my beer. Kevin Ellis, just his second game back for the Comets, and looking great. There's his teammate, Lucas Rodriguez, who didn't play tonight. Lucas out with a hamstring. Congratulating Ron Corey there. Kevin Ellis, again, 5 goals tonight for the Comets. He played 10 games last year for Kansas City and scored 10 goals and 4 assists late in the season. And nobody's happier than Leo Gibson to have Kevin Ellis back into the fold. And let's talk to Leo Gibson. Steve?
Not really the way that you really wanted it to go tonight.
Well, not my first time, but it's my third time. It's a great city, great fans here, great arena. It's a very good team. They showed that tonight. We've got a lot to work on, but that's what we've got to get to the business of. We've got to shake it off quick because we've got a turnaround to pick up on Florida, who is one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and then get back to work on the training pitch.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach, for the time. Appreciate it.
Sorry about that. That's head coach Tom Traxler. Now I think we're going to chat with Kevin Ellis. All right. Let's hear Kevin Ellis.
A second ago, before we turned the mic on, has 5 goals tonight. That's a big one for you.
Yeah, I mean, even bigger. We got a win and stopped this 2-game losing streak that we were on. So I'm happier that we got the win than scoring goals.
How did you guys work as a team? Not only you got the 5 goals, but also put up 14 tonight. A good team. What was the difference for you guys tonight?
Yeah, I think we got back to playing our game. I know I've only been here a couple weeks now, but I was here last year, and last game wasn't the style we wanted to play, and so we got back to doing what we're good at, and it shows on the scoreboard.
How great was it to see these fans when you've got negative 29-degree temperatures tonight? We got snow, we got ice, but you still got all these fans here in the stadium.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we didn't start the game out as good as we would like to, but these guys stayed behind us and gave us that little extra push to pull out the victory tonight. So thank you, guys.
Congratulations. Big win for you tonight. We'll see you next Friday here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Nate, guys, back up top. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve Serrano, with our man of the match, Kevin Ellis. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will wrap it up. Comets, big winners tonight.
Tequila.
you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, Select Physical Therapy is your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Schedule an appointment at one of our convenient locations at selectphysicaltherapy.com or call 800-770-6682.
Comets big winners, 14-6 over the Orlando SeaWolves. Kind of what the doctor ordered, right, Eric?
A lot of goals for the Comets, 14, which we had 3 for the Comets last week, so a big change of pace. They got a very, very impressive Milwaukee team coming back next Friday, but I think Coach Gibson probably saw enough that he liked. We talked about how he changed his formations, moved people around, and Kevin Ellis, 5 goals, Nick.
Wow. Comets big winners tonight. Yep, the next game for Kansas City is here against Milwaukee at 7:05. We'll have that game for you on MASL TV, and Orlando's going to take on the Florida Tropics coming up on Sunday. Our thanks to Brad Zimmerman, Rachel Tooney, Wags, Paul Stokes, Taylor Kopich, and for our entire Silverstein Ice Center's crew. My name is Nick Vassos, for my broadcast partner Eric Bergerud. Thanks for watching MASL TV, and good night from Kansas City.